Hey guys, Tonic here, and today I would like to show you some of my favorite flat camp locations. Now like always, these are in no particular order, there's no ranking system for these. These are just some really cool camp locations that have a lot of flat land. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Starting off in the Toxic Valley, we have a really cool location that has a ton of flat land and a great view. It's located right here on the map just above Hemlock Holes, and to get up here there is a trail that you can follow that starts around here. It will take you right up the mountain, and at the top you will find this. This location is very flat and building here is really fun. It's just about the perfect size for a camp. When you place your module down, you can get almost this whole area within the build radius. But my favorite part about this location is easily the view. You can see a lot of the Toxic Valley, the forest region, and way in the distance you can even see the ash heap. Now I have shown this location before in an older video about camp locations with a great view, and I still don't see too many camps here. I have my main camp here right now, and I almost never have to change camps due to someone else being here. Lastly, it's a pretty safe location. I don't get attacked that often, and if I do, it's usually just some wild dogs or mole rats. But for this next one, we are heading over to the Ash Heap region for a similar camp location. It's going to be right here on the map, and just like the last one, you will have to hike up here. There is a trail that you can follow, but once you get up here, you will find this nice flat area. There are some trees and bushes here, but once you start placing items down, most of them will disappear. And again, just like the last location, it comes with an awesome view. You have a lot of trees on the left, and over on the right you can see a lot of the ash heap. Now there are a few things that I really like about this spot. First, I hardly ever see anyone build here. I think over the years I've maybe seen one camp in this area. It's also right on the edge of the ash heap, so you will have some green foliage. It's not all burnt and dead, and I really like that. I like having some trees around my camp. Lastly, I don't get attacked here that often, and if I do, it's usually just some smaller enemies. But up next, we are heading over to the forest region. This location is right next to the Crosshair, and out of all of these locations, I've probably built here the most over the past few years. It's a really neat spot. You have this big flat area here. There's plenty of room to build. Also on this tree you have a noose and a skeleton, and if you wanted to, you could build some stuff around this. Lastly, it also has a really good view overlooking the Toxic Valley. And down there you have a little campsite, and that's actually a random encounter location. Once you start building here, most of the bushes and rocks will disappear, and it just leaves a big flat area. I really like this spot. It's in the forest, you get a great view, and you don't really see too many camps around here. Plus that random encounter location is nice. Sometimes you will get traders and friendly NPCs that spawn down there, and sometimes you will get some enemies, but it is far away enough where they won't be a big issue. This next location is on the other side of the map, way up at the top of the mire. It's located right here just under the compass, and to get here I like to spawn here and just run towards this direction. Eventually you will see a big red tree, and right under that you will find this flat area. Now this location is pretty far away from everything, but I've made a few camps here and it's always fun to build here. You just have a ton of flat land, it's right on top of this little hill, plus you have some stuff over here. You have this tent, and this can spawn loot. Then there's a cooking station, and you have a destroyed jeep. Now I've never seen another camp here, so you probably won't have to worry about the spot ever being taken. But lastly, right next to this location you have a copper deposit. Now this spot is very flat, but the one big downside to this spot is that it is pretty far away from everything, so you probably won't get a ton of visitors. But if you like to be left alone, then this spot is great. Also, it's right on the edge of the mire, so when your camp does get attacked, you will have to fight some larger enemies, but it's not that bad. I don't get attacked that often. Now before we get to the final location, I do have one quick honorable mention. It felt weird not to include the White Spring Golf Course while talking about flat locations. All around the golf course you will find tons of flat land. This spot here is pretty solid, and further down there's another great flat spot. I use this location for my Atomic Shop reviews because it is extremely flat and you get a ton of room to build. And just next to that there's another great flat spot, and this one even has a pond that you can build around. All of these locations are great, but they are used a lot. On almost every server I join, one or two of these locations are already taken. Now that being said, if you are looking to sell a lot of items in your vendors or just want a lot of visitors to your camp, then building here is great. It's right in the middle of the map and tons of people will stop by, but you will run into the issue of not being able to always place your camp. Overall, there are a ton of great flat areas here, and it felt wrong not to include them on this list. And now for the final location. This one is down in the Cranberry Bog right next to the Ranger District office. Here you will find this little island. There is a lot of grass and some bushes, but once you start placing down items it will disappear, and you are left with a pretty flat island. It's completely surrounded by water, and if you place your camp module just right, you can get most of the island in the build radius. This location is neat. It's really your own personal island, and it's pretty flat. There are some tiny bumps here and there, but it's not that bad. You also get a pre-existing bridge going into the island, and you can use that as your entrance. Also, there is a silver deposit, so you can place down a resource extractor. I've seen some really cool camps here, but I still don't see this location used that much. As far as safety goes, it is in the Cranberry Bog, so you will have to deal with some larger enemies when you do get attacked. But overall, I think it's a really cool spot. But that is pretty much going to be it for this video, so I would like to say thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. And as always, I'd like to give a massive thank you to all of the channel members: Terry Lockridge, Anxiety Ranger, Dick Johnson, MXZ Gaming, Radcon, Ice Cream Manny, Mazader, Jays the Aussie, Joe Pervincente, I Am Mr. Me Not You, Blake Heath, Dr. Calamari, Argent Deer, Shaky Hands Workshop, Leo the Collector Plays, Esdeath93, Loopy, Adam Steinson, Robert Kennard, CRM114, Theodore, Slappy Sauce, King Kittens, Omniprotus, Victrix, Axel, Kevin W, Anna S, Fallout McFly, Network Gate, Golty, Lanthar, Captain Awesome, Heather Henderson, Patrick Ruda, 20th the Icefire, Baza Double Frank, Christy Mellon Schwitz. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys, and have a great day.